Glass by M. Night Shyamalan. This movie has one of those twist endings that M. Night is best known for, and I really want to talk about it, but I also don't want to give spoilers, so I'm going to split this review in two. First, I'm going to be kind of vague and try not to give spoilers, and then I'm going to do like a cut, and then we're going to talk full spoilers on the ending. So going into this movie, this is the end of the Unbreakable trilogy of movies. Unbreakable is my favorite M. Night Shyamalan movie. I've seen it multiple times. I thought it was so cool. I thought the ending in that, the twist ending, was just amazing. And then we have Split, which I thought was pretty fun as well, but I just love that it tied back into Unbreakable because I want more Unbreakable. And finally we have Glass, the end to this storyline, and really focusing on Sam Jackson's character of this Glass, which I love. So the critical response to this movie is not very good right now. It has like a 35% on Rotten Tomatoes or something, like really low. A lot of critics are hating it. A lot of the fans' reaction is kind of mixed, although some people absolutely love this ending in Glass. Some people kind of hated it. I'm more so in the middle, but there are aspects I really did like about it. And let's just quickly, I want to talk about M. Night Shyamalan's filmography. So you got the bad M. Night Shyamalan movies that most people do not like. So we're talking The Last Airbender, After Earth, Lady in the Water. Most people hated The Happening, but I actually like that one. And then the good M. Night Shyamalan movies that most people do like. So we're talking Signs, The Village, The Visit, The Sixth Sense, Unbreakable, Split. And now, of course, there's the question of how good Glass is. But yeah, I'm a big M. Night Shyamalan fan. I've seen all of his movies, and I'm very interested to see how he wraps up this franchise here. So now let's move on to talk about the cast in this movie. So we have James McAvoy as this guy, Kevin Wendell Crumb, a.k.a. the Horde, and he was very good in this movie. So great when he's changing to all of these different multiple personalities, and they all have this different characterization. Absolutely loved him in this. I thought he was really good. I thought he was really good in Split, and I thought he continued to be very interesting in this, in that wide array of characters. We have Bruce Willis as this guy, David Dunn, aka the Overseer. That's like his superhero name. And I mean, I love Bruce Willis. He was good in this, although he wasn't in this as much as I would have liked. It was a little bit Bruce Willis light than I would have liked it, but still really good in this. And Sam Jackson as Mr. Glass, and I love Sam Jackson in this. I love the character of Mr. Glass because I love supervillains that their superpower is just their intelligence. They're just super smart, and they use their superior intelligence to outsmart everybody. Reminds me of Ozymandias in The Watchmen, of how he's just so smart and he's able to manipulate the world. That's sort of what Mr. Glass's ability is. So interesting. And what makes the character even more interesting is that he's so weak and his bones break so easily. So you know, you have this guy that's so powerless, he's so weak, but yet he's able to use that hyper intelligence to just outsmart the world, and just really fantastic, really great. So we also have Sarah Paulson as like this psychiatrist in this movie, and I didn't really like her in this. I just didn't like the character. As an actress, she was fine in it, but the character was very annoying, and I just didn't believe what she was up to as the movie was going on, and her ideas on how to treat these patients of hers. But I mean, there is kind of a twist with her character, so it does kind of help explain why she was acting a little bit weird. We also have Spencer Treat Clark coming back as Bruce Willis's son in this movie, and he was the kid from the original Unbreakable movie all those many years ago, and I found it kind of weird seeing him in this because I kept seeing the face of that little kid from the original movie, but I think it was a nice touch to bring back the original kid actor, now a grown adult, in this movie. And in the movie, he's kind of like helping Bruce Willis's character as he goes out and tries to like solve these crimes. Okay, so let's go on to the positives and kind of what this movie is all about. So we pick up, and Bruce Willis, he's kind of working at the security company with his son, and Bruce Willis goes out on the street and he just tries to like solve various problems out there in the world, tries to find bad people and stop them, and his son kind of helps him. So that's where Bruce Willis is. We have James McAvoy. His character has rounded up a whole bunch of cheerleaders, and he's like keeping them hostage, and he's kind of feed them to the beast that is himself. And that's where his character is. And then we have Mr. Glass, who is in this psychiatric hospital, and he's being like drugged up, and he's all comatose, and he can't really move, and he's really spaced out, and he's been stuck there for all of these years. So in the first 20 minutes of this movie, all these James McAvoy and Bruce Willis's character, they start clashing, and it's very exciting, very good. Like, this is the Unbreakable sequel everybody wanted in the beginning here, and it was really enthralling. But then all these characters kind of get captured, and then they get hauled off to this mental facility, the psychiatric hospital, and they are all being worked on. Now, this psychiatric hospital they were in, it is such a movie version of a psychiatric hospital. There's like barely any other patients there. There's only a couple of guards and nurses and other employees, and the whole hospital has a very kind of movie quality to it, like these Pepto-Bismol colored walls, and it doesn't look like a real place. But that's where they're all hauled off to, and they're all being held separately. And this psychiatrist lady, she's trying to like figure all of these characters out, and she's trying to stop them from having these delusions of being a superhero, and she's trying to convince them that they're not superheroes, and that everything that is happening to them can be explained. And it was a kind of intriguing concept. I was almost believing myself that maybe Bruce Willis' character doesn't have any powers, or maybe the Horde can be explained, you know? As this movie progressed, I was always very entertained and on the edge of my seat, so I don't think this movie is boring. I know some people were claiming that, but I never was bored. But I guess when you have this really good first 20, 30 minutes of the movie out there in the world, very exciting, and then the rest of the movie is just in the psychiatric hospital, it really does kind of slow the plot down a bit, but nonetheless, I was still very enthralled by it. Now, on to some of my negatives of this movie. There was a couple fight scenes, and M. Night Shyamalan, he wanted to use like these GoPro cameras that were like attached to the people, and you would always see close-ups of the characters' faces as they were like being punched or punching. So I didn't love the GoPros. I didn't think that was a good choice. Finally, let's talk about the ending of this movie and this series of films. So M. Night Shyamalan, he's usually known for these big twists, and this one definitely did have some twists near the end. There's one involving this secret organization, and there's this other one involving Mr. Glass. I'm going to be vague. I'm not going to try to spoil anything here, but it was a little bit convoluted and messy. Also, I did not love what happened with our three characters at the end of this film and where they are going forward. But as I thought about it, as I left the theater, I had to kind of think to myself, did I enjoy this movie? Did I like it? And there's a lot of people that are kind of questioning that themselves, because it is kind of a polarizing ending. It is kind of a weird ending, but it really did kind of grow on me as time went on. I thought it was pretty interesting, and I thought it was pretty ambitious and risky and not safe, and you have to give M. Night Shyamalan credit for that and the creativity of where he took this story. So I think it's pretty good. And I'm going to give this movie an 8 out of 10, and I recommend everyone to go see it, especially if you loved Unbreakable and you liked Split. Some people might not like the ending, but nevertheless, it's still worth seeing the ending and judging it for yourself, and it's going to make some fun discussion for anyone that's really like passionate about this movie franchise. All right, talking full spoilers now, okay? So I'm going to say what happens in this movie. So if you haven't watched, you might not want to watch the rest of this video, okay? So full spoiler alert, all three of our main characters die at the end of this movie. Bruce Willis's character is dead. Sam Jackson's character is dead. James McAvoy's character is dead. All dead. And I don't know how I feel about it. I was kind of bummed out by it. Like, I didn't want these characters to die. I wanted Bruce Willis's characters to still be there. But mind you, it's not like I want a sequel to this movie. It's not like I want to watch Bruce Willis and Mr. Glass go up against each other again. Like, I don't know if I want that. It's not like Batman or Superman where you want tons of these movies and this franchise is going to go on forever. This is the ending. This is it, right? So killing off all the major characters maybe isn't that big a deal. And they did have this kind of overarching thing with Mr. Glass. And Mr. Glass, the whole thing in his life is that he wanted to prove that he wasn't a mistake and that there were kind of these superior superhero type beings out there like him, like Bruce Willis, like James McAvoy's character. And his whole goal in life was to prove that to the world. And he did in this movie. He did prove it to the world. And he did kind of accomplish what he wanted to. And in a way that is kind of an interesting way to end this movie and leave off this storyline. So part of me does kind of like that. I still maybe would have liked if Bruce Willis' character at least stayed alive, but still, I think it was a very, very ambitious ending, and it was interesting. So I think it kind of won me over after I thought about it for a while. So yeah, I'm still mixed on it, but there are aspects I really liked. For those of you who saw it, what did you think of the ending? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Let me know in the comments.